Noita. It's Finnish for witch. You learned something new today, probably. That's this week's game of choice, apt I suppose, as it's October and Halloween will soon be upon us, the season of the witch and all that. Also apt because it's seen full release this week after just over a year in early access. What is it? I suppose I could almost cut and paste my explanation of like-minded games here, but no, not quite. While comparisons are to be had, this is very much its own game. A side-scrolling, platforming roguelike. Yes, it is, but here it sees you take up the wand and an ability to hover for a limited amount of time and go deep underground to face all sorts of nasties to get to the next layer. What makes this game stand out in what is arguably an overcrowded market? For a start, every pixel is physically simulated, and that might not sound so grand, but it is. It creates a recipe for disaster and success. It's not just this, however. All the elements in the world act as you may well expect. If you get set alight, you can put it out with water or blood or toxic sludge, though the latter is maybe not a great choice lest you be poisoned. Fire spreads, and while handy, it can hit piles of gunpowder and other randomly placed explosives. Smoke fills enclosed areas which can suffocate you, and water will pour down on you and drown you. Toxic sludge will eat through your clothes and dwindle your HP. Oil will make you slippery and highly flammable, though a dip in some water could solve this. Just make sure you don't run out of hover when you do so and drown at the bottom of some pit. And being drenched in water will give you some protection from being set alight in the first place should you drop into flames. Your spells are a huge part of the game, and you will start off with a basic but decent wand and find more on your travels. This consists of several slots, and if you find more spells, there are points in the game where you can edit the wand and mix and match the spells within the wand to make your own devastating combination, adding split projectiles, fireballs, black holes, razor blades and a lot more, but this can quite easily backfire, literally, and take you unaware, so that's a huge part of the draw and enjoyment. You learn a little bit for next time and make sure you perhaps don't do it again. End the run, start again, and a new layout is generated. As you go through each level killing off enemies, they'll reward you with gold, and at the end of each level you'll be presented with a room where you can buy new spells or wands with said gold, and you can edit the wand's spell configuration in these rooms as well. They also offer a choice of 3 random perks to aid you on your journey: a revenge tentacle that whips nearby enemies that hit you, extra fly time or health perhaps, or how about teleporting somewhere random every time you get hit. Not fully understanding the nature of these perks, and indeed some of the spells will often result in a very quick death, though master them and you can become a true powerhouse. I got the boomerang perk. Great, I thought. I shoot a spell, it comes back. Good for extra damage, perhaps. I didn't stop to think how this would affect my bomb wand. A boomerang bomb is possibly the worst invention. Flasks can be found throughout levels as well, and their effects can range widely from teleportation to enraging you to do extra damage to polymorphing. And all of these effects work on enemies as well, so be warned. What happens if some of these resources get mixed together? And that ventures too far into spoiler territory, I would say, so you'll have to have a go and see for yourself. But the game is jam full of cryptic secrets, especially in regards to alchemy. The controls are very fluid as well, natural almost, perfect keyboard and mouse fodder. The hover lasts just long enough and controls beautifully, and this won't stop you getting into trouble quickly, of course, but, you know, that's the nature of the game. Combat, though basic, feels great too, and naturally upgrading or finding new wands keeps it fresh, adding new strategy to your play and finding that really crazy combination of spells and perks when you get that one run is what makes this type of game. The game has a certain feel to it. It's very hard to explain, like sitting at a campfire on a blustery night. It's physics of every sprite, the fluidity of the controls, the pixelated look and foreboding score, the cranky enemy design. It just feels right. It's a wonderful mix of exploration, not just in regards to levels, but the systems themselves. Moments of accidental discovery when certain elements mix and unforeseen situations arise. Perhaps it's also my fond memories of C64 and Amiga days, though just having retro graphics alone maketh not the game. There are more than anyone could count out there. Retro roguelike platformers get pushed out at an alarming rate, so to stick out from the crowd is no mean feat. If you even have a passing interest in these type of games, I'd highly recommend it. It's one of those that you'll lose hours in on a dark, long night, just pottering about. It could be easy to dismiss as perhaps a physics simulator, but it's not. It's much more than that, and it's got very solid gameplay and systems in place, and I've been rather careful not to spoil them here. It's out on Steam now, and it's just over 15 notes, and it's well worth taking it up at that price. I have no qualms in recommending this at all. It's one you can just go back to months later and still find enjoyment with. Cheers.